In this video, I'll be unboxing the new Imperial Death Trooper helmet. I'll be struggling to get it out of the box and then struggling to fit it on my giant head. So stick around on Swarm of Comics. Welcome to Swarm of Comics. I'm Randy, your handsome and humble host. I'm excited to bring you another helmet unboxing. And if you've watched the channel before, you know that I do love my Star Wars, and I do love my Star Wars helmets. I have quite a number at this point. Stormtroopers, Cardinal Troopers, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Boba Fett. I've got a whole bunch of them. A new one came out not too long ago. I pre-ordered it. It is the Imperial Death Trooper. It's from the Black Series from Hasbro, and it arrived last week. And I'm going to open that up for you guys now. I'm going to get out my trusty box cutter, see if I can cut into this, and tell you a little bit about it while I get into the helmet. I don't know if I'm going to have to put it together like I had to do with Darth Vader or the Wolverine helmet, or if it just pops out in one piece like the Stormtrooper helmet. So, first of all, it is a very cool box with a weird angle shape to it. I don't know why they didn't just make it square, but it does have a cool picture of the Death Trooper there. You can see a good picture. It's obviously, they're from the Stormtrooper Corps. I think they call it the Stormtrooper Corps, and there's a million of them now. Of course, they built on that big time. There's the Fire Troopers, Snow Troopers, all the different Stormtroopers. Sand Troopers. Oof. How do you get that out of your uniform, all that sand? So this is the Death Troopers. Now the Death Troopers, I think the first time we saw them in canon was Rogue Trooper. Rogue One. Rogue Trooper. Rogue Trooper was a comic book from England back in the 1980s. Maybe I'll edit that out. Maybe I won't. But Rogue One from 2009, they were the bodyguards for Krennic, who was the bad guy. I think it's Ben Mendelsohn, and I think he's also the Skrull in the Marvel movies. I think he's also the main Skrull guy from the Captain Marvel movie. I thought the Captain Marvel movie was pretty good. The sequel was terrible, obviously. That's, if you've probably, hopefully, have not had to sit through and watch the Marvels or whatever garbage that was. But Captain Marvel was good. So that actor played Krennic, and these were his bodyguards. Sort of like how the Emperor had the red-colored Imperial Guard. I don't know why this is not opening up, and I don't want to rip it open. Here we go. Stab myself in the face. So they came along in 2009, and then in canon, they were probably, they think, influenced by Shadow Troopers from the, I think they call it the Legends series, which is non-canon stories in comics and things like that in books. Those Shadow Troopers were reanimated corpses, so let's call them zombie stormtroopers. And what's funny is these Death Troopers are not reanimated corpses. They are an elite commando squad. Think of Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe combined with a stormtrooper. And they were used as bodyguards. They're used for stealth missions and everything like that. And they've been in The Mandalorian, and they've also were in Ahsoka. And in Ahsoka, dealing with the zombie troopers, they also had a couple of them. So it was kind of funny how it came full circle, where they did end up having some Death Troopers that were reanimated corpses. So it's always interesting when they bring some of that legend stuff in, that non-canon stuff. So I've opened up the box here. I can see the top of the helmet. I'm just going to pop this little inside flip lid, and I think I can just pull it out in one piece. Yes. I don't think there's anything to put together. The Darth Vader helmet had multiple pieces. The piece that goes around your neck, another piece that clips around. Then you had to put the helmet on top, and it like had a magnet to hold it in place. So this is just like the Stormtrooper helmets. You just put it on. Now these helmets are pretty cool. Stormtroopers are cool, but you know, you turn them into really evil looking, almost Darth Vader ones. They look even cooler. This is an electronic helmet, as far as I know. I'm not going to make you sit through and do batteries in this one. I did it in the Spider-Man helmet unboxing. Make sure you watch that, because that was going to have some, like, the eyes moved and everything like that. I'm almost positive that you can put batteries into this one, but I did not research it. Okay. Yeah, there's a button on the side here of the helmet. So you would be able to do it. It would probably just distort your voice and so forth. So the helmet is actually has some wear and tear on it, and that's one of the big things about Star Wars, is it was kind of felt that it was the first, you know, space series that showed things with wear and tear, worn out, old, pieced together. Everything before that, sci-fi in the future, was always, you know, beautiful, it's smooth, round everything. Everything was clean, you know, and Lucas just made this, the dirty universe over here, the grungy universe almost. So this has some wear and tear on the front. It has these two green things in the front, and in the movies they glow. So this helmet isn't just a helmet for like a stormtrooper helmet. This helmet has a number of different features for the Death Troopers. It has all types of sensors that can scan and sense what they're trying to hunt down. It says visual sensors. It has, these are part of the night vision that's built in here. There's also encrypted language. So when the troopers talk to each other, it's an encrypted language that it interprets it, so nobody can intercept what they're talking about or understand what they're saying. So it has a bunch of cool stuff like that. Motion sensors, you know, night vision sensors and everything like that. And of course this is like where we scan here, sort of like the Boba Fett little scanner right here. So that's what sort of made them more of an elite squad than just a stormtrooper helmet. It distorted their voices as well, I think, so you couldn't understand who was in there. So the helmet has some straps inside that look adjustable, and I'm assuming that what that's going to do is let you be able to fit it on your head and make it short so it doesn't move. So I'm going to try, and there's no flexibility whatsoever. If you have a giant head, it might not go on like mine. So let's see what we got with this. Okay. No, mine's on. I probably have to adjust it. Hopefully you can hear me. I probably have to adjust it so it wouldn't sit on my nose so much. It's sitting heavy on my nose. But there is padding in here and straps. You know, it'll move around. You know, pew pew. But that's the helmet. Oh, I think you didn't even see my eyes through the black there, maybe. But that's it. This definitely would be good for cosplaying. Hopefully you can hear me. I think this definitely would be good for cosplaying or whatever it might be that you would call it, role playing. It's pretty comfortable. I could see you adjusting the straps and the pads and keeping it on for quite a while. I can breathe well in it. Yeah, I can breathe well, and I can move around well. The things like the Wolverine helmet and the Spider-Man thing, they didn't fit so good and sit so well, but I feel like the Star Wars helmets do a better job of that. I know the Luke Skywalker helmet, pilot helmet, which has a ton of padding and it really sits and fits well. So that's it. This is the Death Trooper. Now that I have the Death Trooper and Wolverine here next to me and Spider-Man, it sounds like it's time to get another glass display cabinet. So hopefully I'll be able to show you guys that at some point. So hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of the history behind the helmet and what the helmet does for the troopers. Well, like, comment, subscribe. Go watch all my other videos, watch my helmet unboxings, and thank you for joining me on Swarm of Comics.